And as you're sitting in a comfortable meditation posture, I don't see Max. We will direct the back, cast the side down, and make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 12 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 12 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 12 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice there's a flat piece of sinew at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy and changing. We continue in this manner to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, we allow all of the muscles and sinews throughout the head to be heavy and changing. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, we allow all of the muscles and sinews throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, the heels, soles, toes, tips of toes. We allow all of the muscles and sinews throughout the body to be heavy and changing. And as we allow the body to be the way it is, as we give it the freedom to be the way it is, we ourselves achieve freedom from worry about the body. Let's enjoy this freedom. Let's watch this peace. Let's share our peace with other living beings. In our minds, listlessly, we can wish, we can allow. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in the city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this continent be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. Make sure your back is erect. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. And we can take one more minute to enjoy the peace we gained in meditation. Okay, very well. So there's this game called Scrabble where you get like letters and then you build words from those letters. Does anybody know the game here? If you know it, can you please raise your Zoom hand? So I know who knows. Anyone else? Jake knows, but Max doesn't? That's strange. Max, do you know what's Scrabble? Max does, but he doesn't raise your... Okay, there you go. All right, so it seems that Tango and Taolian don't know. So in this game, you get tiny little like cards. They're not really cards, but it's like cards, and each of them has one letter. And then you get some of them. You don't know which of them you will get. You just get some. Some are like A and B and D and L and M and so on. And then you take these little cards and you have to build a word from them. And another person also gets some random cards with letters, and they also have to create a word from those letters. All right. And then you compete who can make a better word and who can continue on the other person's word. So one person writes out or makes the word from those little cards, and then you search there some letter in those letters, and then you add your word from your cards, and then they continue and continue until you build a little like a map. So that's called Scrabble. And today we will be using that knowledge of creating words from letters in the test, in the final test. So in this final test, you will get sometimes words which are not readable because they have jumbled up, mixed up, disordered letters. So instead of, for example, dog, D-O-G, you will get O-G-D. And you somehow have to know that we're talking about dog. All right. So the test that you will see will look like that there is a technical error because the words are not readable. But in fact, there is no technical error at all. It's just that the letters are jumbled up, they're disordered, and you have to understand what it probably means. Okay, it's not every question like that, but some will have it. Sometimes you will have such word in the main question, so then you need to read the options and find out the option which best suits the question. So get ready that this will be very difficult. You will have 15 minutes to answer this test. And there will be some questions that you maybe never wrote down. So you have to use your best intelligence. But we did go through all of these things that are in the test. So I believe that all of you have the potential to do it. And I would like to ask our organizers this time to send the link to the test here.
Yes, Sunday.
So as soon as you get the link in the chat box, you can enter it. You have only one attempt. So be careful. As soon as you open it, start answering right away. Make sure that your technology works well. And you have 15 minutes for the answering. You cannot go back. You cannot go back in answering. So you answer something, you move to the next question. You cannot return back to the previous one. You cannot correct yourself because I have blocked it. And I think that's all. Anybody has a question about that? Max, you have a question? Okay, so you can start right away. And after 15 minutes, I hope to see you again. And we will look at your results. So please do not run away. I want to show you the correct answers when we meet here again. So now's your time to answer the test. Okay, so please raise your hand if you have finished the test. Dalian, have you finished the test? If you have finished the test, please raise your hand. Perfect. Okay, so we will be looking at the results. Mhm. Let's first look at the results themselves. Okay, some things were difficult, some things were easier. Fifth precept, definitely quite difficult. And words to say, all right, good. Seems like we will that the review today is useful, but it was generally easy. If the median is above 5, it means it is generally successful. All right, so let's look at the questions themselves. So what is the first precept? So the first precept is no killing, N-O, and then we have K-I-L-I-N-G. So, and there's actually double L in there. So no killing. Second precept is no stealing. So N-O-S-T-L-E-A-N-G, no stealing. The fourth precept is no telling lies or no lying here. So N-O-L-Y-I-N-G. We have them all there. Then what is the fifth precept? Well, fifth precept is no alcohol or drugs. In this case, I had to make it shorter so that it has similar, similar length as the other one. So no, it's here, no, and then A, L, C, O, H, O, L, and then we have O, R, like the drug, like for or, and then we have the drug. So D, R, and then U, G. No alcohol or drugs. Okay, which two things should be kept the same every day when you meditate to create a strong habit? This is something that I told you by the beginning of this academic year, by the beginning of our course this year. And that's when I asked you, everybody, at what time would you like to meditate every day? And where would you like to meditate every day? All right. And that was because if you keep the same time and the same place every day, then at that time, you may be reminded that this is the good time to meditate because you meditate every day that time. So if you miss out, the fact that you meditated at the same time will help you, to remind yourself that this is the time to meditate. The same place is the same point, a similar point, that whenever you come to the place where you always meditate, you are reminded that, oh, yesterday I didn't meditate, but this is my place to meditate. And that place itself will remind you that you need to meditate every day. Why not the same people? Well, you should not be dependent on other people for your meditation. And why not the same posture? Well, sometimes if you get ill or if you get difficulties or pain, you will have to change your posture. So these cannot work. But the time and place are very helpful. I understand that sometimes you travel and you're somewhere else, That can happen, but as much as you can, you keep your time and place the same. What is the third precept? So the third precept has one letter which does not appear in the other precepts, and that is X. So you only search the option which has X, which is here, and you immediately know that it's this option which is the correct. So it's the no sexual misconduct. So N-O-S-E-X-U-A-L, sexual, M-I-S, another S, C-O-N, you have here two N, N-D-U-C-T. Okay, no sexual misconduct. Which of these options is not true? So this one is coming from The Teenage Brain, the book that we read the first half of this year. And there you had the chapter on gender. And there we could learn that male brains are on average 6 to 10% larger than female brains. But the point is that the female brains have more connectivity, so they're more efficient. Then we learned that adolescents' girls' corpus callosum is 25% larger than boys. I removed the percentage so that you feel, so that I increase the possibility that you will be misled and think that it's a wrong answer. Because if I add the percentage, you may feel, oh, that's too accurate. That surely must be coming from the book. Okay, so actually it's 25% larger, and this corpus callosum in the lady's brain, which is larger. You see the male brain is overall larger, but the lady's brain have larger corpus callosum. And it's 25% larger than in males. And it seems that it increases the lady's ability for communication. Yes. And now, in average, boys score higher in math tests than girls, and that's actually wrong. Because according to the research, which is mentioned in the book, you can check the book again. There's only one chapter for the gender matters. It was found out that boys and girls actually score, in average, the same in math tests. So practically, the brains are the same, right? It's just that they have some different shape, and here and there they look a little different, but functionally they're the same. Which of these options is the worst way to say that someone harmed themselves fatally? That I think you had everybody correct. We don't say committed suicide. Now, what you have learned from our book, from our lectures, from the video lectures, lost to suicide and died by suicide. This ended their life is actually coming from a totally different source, and that is somewhere else. But I hope that you remember that it was the word committed that was a problem. The reason is that it implies a crime, and although suicide actually is illegal, this word committed could cause some additional troubles for the person who's facing difficulties. Okay, which of these options contains sentences that safely react to someone's consideration to take their life? So you should not feel this way. So when you say that, why is it not safe? Well, it's not safe because you did not accept the other person's feelings. And the first thing that you need to do, if you listen to another person, whether they are in danger or not, whether they are your friend or a stranger, whether they are facing difficulties or not, doesn't matter. First and foremost, you need to learn to accept that they have some unpleasant feelings. Only when you accept that somebody has pain, it will be possible to help them. If you think that they don't have pain, well, then there is no way to help them. You have a good job, you have a good wife. These are actually specifically sentences coming from the video lectures. They're written out copy, almost like copy paste, but there's nothing to copy from the video. So they're written out exactly as the doctor said there. So you have a good job. Again, it doesn't accept the feeling of the other person. So the other person has a problem. The fact that he has a good job doesn't change the fact that they have a problem. We need to accept that fact. You have a good wife. Again, it does not address the fact that they are not feeling well. Your problems are nothing in comparison to those I have to face. This actually was made up by me. I think he doesn't really say this sentence there, but again, it's another way how you disregard, how you ignore the other person's feelings. So we don't do that. Also, comparing another person's feelings to ours doesn't really work. We may ourselves actually feel even worse than the other person now. So it doesn't really help to compare our feelings to the other person. We may share that we also are having some problems like they do, but we should not compare it. Instead, we use it to say that they are not alone who are facing difficulties. But we should not say that we are well off or that we are worse off. Okay, so these are specifically sentences suggested that you can tell to a person who is considering taking their life. And that is, you will get through this. So there is acceptance that there is pain, and there is also a hope that it will be better. You may think that no one can help you, but I know people who can. So this sentence was suggested by the doctor together with explanation that many people who consider taking their life, they actually come for help. They actually come to the various therapist places and so on, but nobody seems to offer help. Nobody seems to really be willing to support them. And so here you counter that. You say, you know what, you probably or maybe did or tried to find somebody to help you and you were not successful. But I can take care of that. I can take care of finding somebody who can help. Because that's what they probably want. And I think it's like 50% of people, or maybe even more, who actually go for help, who search help, but they don't find it. Nobody's going to help them. Okay, what is the probability that a girl can be as thin as a supermodel? So this is coming specifically from our last book, Buddha in Your Backpack. We'll continue with this book in the next year in your fifth grade. But this one is, I think, from the last or the chapter before the last, where we get this chapter on thinness. And right below that, you get there the explanation that 1% is the probability that a girl can be as thin as a supermodel. So I've copy pasted it in here. Let me see if I can move it. Okay. So in a recent survey, more than 2/3 of girls admitted that magazine models influence their idea of what they want to look like. But those same girls have only a 1 in 100 chance of being as thin as those supermodels. So 2/3 of girls think they are too fat, and almost all women think they weigh more than they really do. The top wish of young teenage girl is to be thinner. It's in page 105 of the original book's page number. So you can check it out there later if you want. And that's all for today. Anybody has any question, anything you'd like to say? Yes, tango. Okay. So, yes. Raise your hand and keep it up. Fine. So this was the last class for grade 4. And we hope to continue by grade 5 in February 24, 25. I hope to announce to you the form, the application form for grade 5. And also, as soon as you fill in the form, we will then add you into the Viber group for grade 5. For the organizers, I would like to make very clear that the groups that are now used for group 1 and 4 will stay dead for the rest of eternity. We will not be using these groups for the new grade 1, new grade 4, because that would mean that we have to kick out all the people there, and we don't want to do that. So we will create a new Viber group for grade 1 and new Viber group for grade 4. Likewise, we already have grade 2 group and grade 5 group, but we will create a new one, and we will invite there the people according to their form, according to their application form, so that we are sure that we get, so that we increase the probability that only the people who are concerned are there and not people who are not interested in that. The previous groups, however, will not be deleted. They will just be kept there as they are. We will publish there the application form, and on the day when it comes for the students, for example, from the grade 1 to move to grade 2, we can again send a kind of gentle reminder in the group 1 that now we are in group 2 to join us there, or to tell us if they have a problem, because they already are in group 1, so it's very easy to communicate with them. And then after probably several weeks or months of resolving difficulties, we'll gradually get people from group 1 from grade 1 to grade 2 without losing their contact or without losing the easy access to tell them that we are having our class. Max, you have a question?
Venerable Sir, the timing of the grade 5 class doesn't fit our schedule because it's at 2 a.m. in the morning in the UK.
That's the point for our grades, that our classes have to accommodate people from all around the world, which is virtually impossible. So we get what we get. That is the problem. That is our problem. But I have a very special plan. It was secret until now. From now on, it will not be secret. And that is that I want to actually write a syllabus for the grades. If I write a syllabus, then that will make it possible for someone else to teach. And if there is someone else to teach, then they can teach in a different time than me. And therefore, we could have, let's say, grade 1, 2 different times suitable for different people, so they can choose. Some likewise grade 4 and so on. But we need to have the syllabus so that the teachers, so that the additional teachers know exactly what to do and how to do that. At this moment, there is no syllabus like that. We have some kind of like teaching plan. What are the books we want to get through? What are the basic knowledge that we want to get through? But we do not have clearly written out which class you will be doing what. And that's what I want to do. And I also want to introduce quizzes into the classes. So every 5 classes, there will be 1 quiz. And then every 20 classes, there will be a midterm quiz. So you will have every 5 classes, there's 1 quiz, the 5, 10, 15. And then on the 20th, you have another quiz that will be number 4, right? But it will actually count double. The value will be double because it's a midterm test. And then for the other 20 classes, the same thing. Again, after 5, 10, 15, and then on the 20th class, which is actually the 40th class at the last, that will be the final test. Again, having the double value. So then we will be counting the points throughout the year. And the students will have to fulfill a certain amount of points so that they can move on to the next grade. And some of the points will be that they fulfill, or some of the questions will be like, did you do your homework for today? And so the students will answer they did homework or not. So I still have to think about it a little more, but you already now know that I have 1 month to prepare that. So let's see if I can manage. So my idea is to increase the quality of our classes and make sure that people know. Because in grade 1, that was a disaster. We had a final test, and only about half of the students were able to answer 6 or more questions correctly. And there were even students who had just 1 out of the 10 questions correct, or 2. And that's not okay. You know, after 1 year, I'm asking them things like, what is the first precept? What is this? I basically copied the questions from their test to your test. 5 of their questions, or 6 of their questions, you have the same. 6 questions, very easy questions. Well, 5 of them, surely. Something that we did every single class. I asked, so what is the first precept? What is the second precept? And still, they don't know. So that's not okay. And you know, many of them, they attended 40 classes or 42 classes or more than that. And they don't know what's the first precept, what's the second precept. Doesn't work. So that's why I'm thinking about how to increase the quality of the classes, so that if somebody comes and asks the students, so what is the first precept? What is the second precept? They will be able to say. Any question, any comment, concern, anything? We will inform you in your Viber group for grade 4, all information related to grade 5. Don't worry. We will send to you a link to the form, to the application form. You need to fill in the application form, because we will accept people into group 5 only based on the form, not based on the group 4. So if you fill in the form and you're eligible, we talked about eligibility previously, then we will add you to that group. So make sure you fill the form, and even on the day, on the first, second, and probably the third day of the group 5, so the first week, second week, third week, we will also inform there very clearly, hey guys, if you did not fill in the form, here's the form. After you fill in the form, we will add you to the class. Class started now. So don't worry, I'm sure you will not miss out. Check your Viber at least once a week, and you'll get the information on time. Thank you everyone for coming, and hope to see you next academic year. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Thank you very much, Bante. Everyone, can you please unmute? You put your hand at your chest and say goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Goodbye,
Goodbye, Venerable Sir.